If I hear one more business owner or adult of Gen X age or boomer age talk about there's a Gen Z problem and they have no work ethic, look, we all had a work ethic problem back when we were kids too. Every generation says the same thing about the kids in that generation. They have no work ethic, they don't work hard, they just want to show up and do nothing. There is no Gen Z problem. And if there is a Gen Z problem, it's because us, Gen X, created it. We created a generation of children that were so helicoptered. I'm raising my hand. I did the same thing to my kids. So helicoptered and so overprotected. They lived in a bubble. We wanted to be their best friends. We wanted to make sure that they weren't chastised at school. So we basically interrupted in talking to their teachers. We went and talked to their coaches. We got them on teams. We manipulated their employment situations more often than not. And we created this culture, this generation of Gen Z kids that didn't know how to handle adversity. I'm not saying all of them, but what I'm saying is that what they've figured out is that their lives have value and that their time is valuable. And that's the thing that we didn't figure out when we were kids back in the 50s, 60s, 70s, 80s, even the 90s. This generation has figured out that their time is valuable and they have other ways that they can make money. They're figuring out how not to spend money, how to live more frugally. They're living in their parents' basements. I get it. That's maybe not the best thing, but hey, if you could live at home and you love mom and dad and they're your friends and you're all getting along, hell, why not? Save some money. Today, things cost a lot. So they're figuring out, and they are calling bullshit on the culture, that command culture, dictatorship type leadership in workplaces. So it doesn't matter if you're at a gas station, some grocery store, you're working in retail, if you're working as a server at a restaurant. This generation is basically saying, look, I have a work ethic. I want to work here. I want to provide value to the company, but I'm not going to put up with your crap. And you need to have some flexibility, Mr. and Mrs. Business Owner. Now, it has to go both ways too. You can't just demand of the business owner because they have to run a business. So Gen Z, have a little bit of sympathy and empathy for the business owner because their lives are not easy either. Owning a business is one of the hardest things that you can do. So there needs to be a little bit of give and take, a little bit of play and collaboration between the older Gen X and Boomer owners and Gen Z, Millennial, and even Gen Alpha now, because they're 15, so, in the workplace. Work together. Make it a psychologically safe workplace where everyone can just be themselves, where everyone understands exactly what their role is, but everyone is valued. Okay? This is what I need to tell business owners. When you have an effort over results mentality and a philosophy where you praise people for their effort, something they can control, you will get productive, collaborative, innovative, creative workers. It just happens. But if you demand of them and you demand of their time and all your messaging is based around results, what they did or did not do, what they achieved or did not achieve, you're going to lose them quick. We put up with that crap when we were younger because we had no choice. But like I said, this generation is calling BS on that and they're basically walking out the door. So you've got to find a way to work with them because they are an incredible generation. They're also very creative and innovative and they can be your best workers. So if you can't beat them, join them, I guess is the statement, which is a very Gen X thing to say. But I want you owners to know that this generation can be your best allies, your best workers, your best employees. You've just got to find what makes them tick. And what makes them tick is them being valued. Their self-worth comes from wanting to be part of something and wanting to contribute and being recognized for that effort they put in, not whether they accomplished some feat or successful end to a project, that they actually put the work in. Recognize them, reward them if you have to at times, but just find a way to work with them and your business will thrive.